A woman woke up and found the meeting stuck in her mouth.
She subconsciously touched it with her hand and found the dog rope was tightly locked. She looked around in horror and found a woman squatting in the distance who had the same experience as her. But compared to the beauty, she was extremely calm. She calmly took off the hairpin in front of her chest, and then kept rubbing it back and forth on her hair. It was almost rubbed. Then she picked up a leaf next to it and put it in the water. The hairpin was tied to the leaf. This kind of operation can be identified from east to west. When the blonde came to an empty place, she found that not only was the woman tied to the rope, but the man was also biting the same rope. And there was a wooden box in the middle of the lawn. A man who didn't know if he was dead or alive came forward and picked up the stick next to him. Just when the man was going to open the wooden box with the stick, the man behind him
Stopped him. Hurry up.
Because the man's mouth was also locked with the dog rope, he didn't hear what the man said, but turned around and continued to pick up the box.
The man realized the danger and hurried away.
And the blonde was also hiding behind the tree. Other men were also hiding behind and watching the man's movements. When the man picked up the wooden board, everyone stared
At the man.
They were afraid that a monster would come out of the box and eat him.
As a result, the next
second, a pig with neat clothes came out of the box. He slowly walked out of it. Such a dramatic scene made everyone sigh. But the man who was closest to him saw that there was something else in the box. Everyone was agitated again.
The man carefully took the box and cocked a handle.
When he pulled out the handle, he found all kinds of weapon equipment. The reason is that in a high-level elite group, there are rich people who are looking for excitement and recommend to go to the mansion to hunt. But as hunters, why do the rich give them weapons? The reason is the superiority brought by
these rich people.
Not only to hunt the so-called man, but also to increase the excitement of the
game.
When everyone was walking towards the weapon, Jean F.A. May found a bag on the wooden
board.
There was a key in the bag. Jean F.A. May shouted to the young man in front of her, and found that
the key could be opened. They helped each other to untie the cuffs and weapons.
At this time, the young man came to Jean F.A. May, and kindly taught her how to use it.
Jean F.A. May
looked at the young man with a frown on her face, and didn't have time to say thank you.
Hey, bullet shot here.
Such a beautiful beauty thought she was the main character. But she got a lunch box at the
beginning.
The young man who reacted quickly moved to hide in a place. He found a woman hiding in the wooden box. The woman pointed the young man to the location where the enemy was. At this time, a man kept shooting at the enemy and kept attacking the enemy. But he didn't get off the line for 2 seconds. The frightened woman ran out quickly and ran all the way in the rain of bullets. She ran into the woods at a glance, but the woman fell down. The young man couldn't help but sigh. When he heard the woman's call for help, the young man rushed out without hesitation. Countless bullets were aimed at the young man. Fortunately, he didn't hit him. The young man who ran to the trap immediately rushed out. The whole set of actions was like flowing water. However, the scene in the trap made him sigh. He only saw the woman's chest and legs pierced
by force.
But now is not the time to comfort. The body was pulled out of the force. The pain of that kind of concentration is not unbearable
for ordinary people.
Soon, the young man pulled the woman up. The two of them ran into the woods side by side. However, they stepped on a dog poop every
2 steps.
The smoke dispersed, and Zenon walked out. As a result, he found half of his body. At this time, it's better for him to die alive like this.
But who?
Zenon said nothing and refused to shoot at him. He hit the woman and yelled, "The man's gun killed himself."
Before the enemy found himself, who?
Zenon and the rest of the people ran all the way. As a result, a wire mesh blocked his way. But there is always a way. Everyone took off their clothes and climbed over the wire mesh.
But Zenon was speechless.
When he took out the gun, a
shot came over. It's kill or be killed.
Zenon chose to give up and run away. At this time he thought, go to hell and fight them. Even if you die, you have to come to the back of the shop. He ran towards the manor. A flying sword shot at him again. As a result, it was so easy to break through.
But a few steps
ahead, the second shot into the chest. It didn't die. The third shot was accurate. This time, Huzinen was completely
destroyed.
Huzinen's death also gave the survivors a chance to escape. Now they have to find a place to
hide.
Soon, they ran to a convenience store. They saw that there was only an old couple inside. Do you think it's safe?
It's impossible.
That's the beginning of their nightmare. It's like there's something chasing them. The three of them ran away with guns.
They barged into the convenience store.
The first thing the man came in was to aim at the shopkeeper and his wife.
The two old men
thought the other party was a robber,
but they didn't care.
Instead, they hurriedly moved the goods to the door. Then they threatened the shopkeeper to
call the police.
But the police didn't seem to care about their lives. They just had to deal with it. At this time, the cousin relaxed her guard and snatched the cakes
from the shopkeeper.
Then the words came out. It's not stuck, it's heavy. It's too late to react. The man turned around and found that the shopkeeper and his wife were wearing anti-poison masks. Then the old lady opened the gas bomb in her hand and threw it at them.
Then the old man
quickly took out the gun from the drawer and solved the problem. It turned out that the two of them were also hunters. The old man was afraid that the white-clothed man would not die.
He even kicked the gas bomb in front of him. Let him breathe.
The old lady took the cousin's glasses and put them back in their original position.
Then she
opened the fan to remove the gas. She took the body away and hid it. After cleaning up the scene, everything was back to normal.
At this time, a voice was heard from the receiver.
The accomplice told them that there was another prey coming next. Let them get ready. The old lady came to the window and saw that the prey had come to the
door.
Hurry up and continue to disguise as the shopkeeper. At this time, May also came to
the door. The disinfectant in the house and the smell of blood made her alert.
She looked around and didn't find anything suspicious. So she came in calmly. She didn't seem to be in a good state of mind. So she asked the old lady for a pack of cigarettes to ease her mood. Then she took out the banknotes from her socks. The old lady also took out the cigarettes. When the old lady was about to find the change, the old man also secretly held the gun in the
drawer.
May also found the problem in the change found by the old lady.
Next second. You fuck it up, bitch.
After solving the two hunters, she picked up the cigarettes and was ready to shock them. It turned out to be empty inside. This made her speechless. She came to the warehouse carefully and found the three bodies just now.
She understood that
without any weapons, she would only become a prey for the rich. So she took these bullets
away.
In order to make it easier to fight, she tied up the high ponytails.
Wen Schewalke to the door.
She found that the color of this coat was too bright. It was not suitable for hiding.
So she took it off.
She carried the gun and walked out handsomely.
When she came out, she
found a truck parked at the door. May was about to drive away before the truck arrived. As a result, May, who was very sharp,
found a fish line.
She followed the fish line and found a bomb at the bottom of the car. But whenever she opened the door carelessly, it was likely to explode. She hurried to find a
place to hide.
At this time, the enemy's voice was heard from the walkie-talkie. She didn't dare to make a sound. At this time, the hunter was asking May where she was. The other accomplices said they didn't see it and were ready to check it out.
Soon, the hunter controlled a drone to come over.
But he was blocked before he went in to check it out. Seeing this, May was also alert. Fatty, who was shooting at this time, also walked out. Looking at his stupid look, May also judged that he was not the enemy. Fatty also looked at the truck in front of him to avoid being
blown up.
May also stood up and told Fatty that we were all kidnapped. Obviously, Fatty didn't believe his
nonsense.
May said she was not afraid of being blown up, so she opened the car door.
Fatty saw the bomb at the bottom of the car.
Because Fatty's action also exposed their location. In order to cover their footsteps, Fatty followed May all the way to the track. At this time, May found that the train had arrived.
They hurried to run forward. It turned out
that May wanted to use the train turning to slow down the speed. As long as they run to the turning, they can climb up.
Don't look at my weak woman.
The speed of running is no less than that of a man. It was soon that May threw the gun at the turn. May climbed up with her own musical
instrument.
The fat man in his 200s was also pulled up by her. At this time, a movement caught their attention. It turned out to be a group of refugees. Obviously, Fatty didn't believe it. He thought it was a hunter. How could it be so coincidental? The only one who drove this car was a refugee. The leader said some words he didn't understand. Fatty only thought they were good at acting. If they didn't tell the truth within 3 seconds, Fatty said he would break the leader's head. As a result, a brake stopped Fatty. It turned out to be a fire brigade. Facing the police's shouting, they had to come down and
accept the police.
Fatty came down and told the police that he was an American. He also said his own suspicion. He explained that these were not real refugees, but a group of
hunters.
May was also embarrassed. But the patrol officer didn't understand English at all. The man pretended not to speak English.
Again.
He deceived the patrol officer again. He even told Fatty his real identity. It turned out that he was a dangerous actor sent by the
hunter.
But the others were real refugees. As long as Fatty promised him to be calm and let the train pass smoothly, he would give Fatty and May a chance to set off in advance.
Then he would come to chase them. There is such a
good thing in the world. Before killing yourself, you have to cooperate with the enemy. Fatty was completely enraged. After Fatty pushed the undercover down, he saw the hand that fell out of his backpack. Fatty picked it up without hesitation and put it directly into the undercover's pocket. The others ran away as soon as they saw it. After this, May and the refugees also closed their eyes. This is the concentration camp of the refugees. Soon May was brought to the 2 police officers to ask questions. Because May couldn't show her ID, she could only tell her experience of these days. Then a few white-haired men who had consulted in advance were brought in. But the officer only thought they were crazy when he faced the 2 hunters. Not long after, the American embassy also came. The old man thought he was saved. But he didn't know that the embassy was also bought. The fake American embassy didn't even dream of it. He made May angry with his words.
Oh my God.
May didn't run away after pushing the man down, but made a car under the old man's scream. May got out of the car and found a handgun
on the man's body.
As soon as she opened the trunk, she found that Fatty had been killed. After a lot of searching, May found a map. Obviously, this is the hideout of the hunters. The old man told May that this map was obviously made by them on purpose.
We don't want to fall into the trap.
Let's get out of here quickly. But May said it wasn't certain who the hunter was. She dared to trick her mother and let them know what it means to hide in the city. That night, the 2 men came to the hunter's hideout. According to the map, a few hunters were waiting for the hunters to come. They didn't know it was their time to die. At this time, one of them came out to the bathroom. The old man grabbed the pig and attracted his attention. May took the opportunity to get out of
the house quickly.
After solving the problem, May made a move on purpose up there. The people in the dungeon immediately alerted. The next second, a pig and his wife were walking. Everyone was panicking and shooting at the pig. The place was so small, there was no place for the pig to hide. They soon beat them to death. The woman watched the pig she had been raising for 3 months die. She was so sad that no one had reacted. Another person was reported by May, who was hiding
in the corner.
It's obvious that May is a hunter. These idlers take killing as a game. May, who was a soldier in Afghanistan, was his opponent. May used her own strength to beat the enemy. After beating them to death, May took the wall as a shield. At this time, an old soldier in a green uniform held a gun and approached May carefully. May attacked quickly. She killed the man in the corner first. Then she was hooked by the old soldier.
Then another shot.
However, there was a woman who didn't know she was going to die.
She was shooting at him. Seeing the
other party panicking, May almost had a heart attack. What are you doing? Why are you shooting at him? After killing the woman, May looked around. She found an old man. There was an assault rifle in front of her. However, the old man was still slow. After killing the hunter on the ground, May ran to the monitor to pick up the assault rifle and aimed at the man who had just been shot.
This time the hunter was completely killed.
Just when May was about to recover, she was attacked by the enemy. It turned out that the old soldier who had just been shot was still alive. May picked up the assault rifle from the ground and walked slowly towards him. Without saying a word, she shot him. At this time, a voice was heard in the monitor.
The Otter
Party also called out the name of the old man. This made May alert again. Although this is very likely to be the enemy's interceptor, in order to make sure there is no doubt, May still chose to shoot to kill the old man.
Faced with the
provocation of the enemy, May was so angry that she came straight to the door to kill him.
Soon, May came to the door of our villa.
At this time, a voice was heard in the door. Let her put the gun in the mailbox to come in. How could this be possible? However, the other party said that there was a modified C4 bomb
buried under the door.
People had to stay low under the roof. It can be seen that the other party was still afraid of May with a weapon. Soon, the door slowly opened. But when May came in, she found the hostess of the villa making
breakfast calmly.
And she is also the hunter behind the scene, Boss Jean. She has been training for 8 months, but she doesn't know where her confidence comes from. She dared to let May enter the battlefield. However, Jean didn't know that the person she was hunting wasn't May. It's just the same hunter with the same name. But May didn't talk to her directly.
May took the enemy's head first.
Jean quickly picked up the pot lid and handed it to May. Jean, who has been in the training camp for 8 months, can be seen to have improved a lot. But May is not jealous. She held Jin's long legs and knocked him down. Jean, who has been in the training camp for 8 months, can be seen to have improved a lot. But May is not jealous. She held Jin's long legs and knocked him down. This fall also made Jean feel the sense of crisis. She slowly retreated and took out
a pistol from her backpack. It's not easy.
She said she had no weapons, but you cheated. Jean loaded the bullets and went
upstairs.
As a result, she was attacked by a big dog.
Fuck you.
Jean almost didn't take May's flesh.
May
jumped down without hesitation. As a result, May's organs were about to fall out. Jean quickly picked up the knife on the ground and smashed it into May's waist. But May didn't dare to stop for a moment. She held Jean and fell down. Then May grabbed Jin's pulse and dragged him outside.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Soon, Jean picked up a bunch of chicken legs. He got up and stabbed May in the stomach. As soon as he came in, he stabbed May in the
shoulder.
This pain almost led May to the northwest. Then Jean picked up May's hair and put it on the table. May grabbed Jin's thigh.
She hurt her
enemy 1,000 times and hurt herself 800 times. After the two were separated, the blade remained on Jean. And he gradually lost his breath. In order to survive, May picked up a flamethrower and sewed the wound. After all this, May also put on Jin's clothes and took over the manor for him.
这一摔也让金姐感受到危机感，她缓缓后退，从背包里拿出了手枪。这也太不讲武德了！说好的赤手空拳，你却作弊。金姐边装子弹边上楼，结果遭到大美的偷袭。金姐这一夹，差点没把大美的肉夹下来，疼得大美毫不犹豫地跳下来。结果这一摔，大美的五脏六腑都要摔出来。金姐迅速捡起地上的刀子，狠狠地砸进大美的腰子，但大美不敢片刻停歇，抱着金姐摔下去。接着，大美抓住金姐的命脉拖到了屋外。很快，金姐又捡起一帮的绞肉机，起身就朝着大美的腹部扎去。 一进一出又扎进大美肩膀上，这痛的大美差点饮恨西北。紧接着，金姐拽起大美的头发，将其顶到桌子旁。大美趁机抱住金姐大腿，来个伤敌1000自损800的绝招。等两人分开后，刀片停留在金姐身上，而她也渐渐失去声息。为了活命，大美拿起喷火枪，硬生生地缝合了伤口。做完这一切，大美也换上金姐的衣服，代替她成功接管了这座庄园。